Be doing some readings for those who would like today. Been doing this weekly, every Tuesday. I don't know. I say this every week. You all know that. You all know that. There was a couple of things I do think I should say. Let's get that off for a minute. First of all, people are asking me to do some maybe some healing circles online. I used to be doing that a little bit more before I got on the road. All things in balance, but I am feeling to do that. I am feeling to get on and do a bit more of that in the next week or so. There's a lot going on in the world. Let's not pretend that spiritual action is the same as physical action. It is not. Spiritual action supports physical action to happen. Okay, that's the merit, that's the benefit of doing little gatherings that move energy in other places across the world. That the physical resources say become available, the opportunities become available. People are receptive, they can receive. Transportation goes as it's meant to go. That's what happens when we gather spiritually and move energy for people in other areas, because the first let's say level, dimension, whatever the solutions appear at is the spiritual, and we're looking to bring that in so that the tangible, deeply required physical support shows up. That's why we do the healing circles. Excuse me. And so in the next week, I am going to do one or two things like that because I'm being asked, and I feel I should, apart from anything else. Something that I do get asked, or something that does get said in sessions to me from time to time, on another note, is people maybe discount themselves because they say, oh, I'm a beginner and I don't know about that sort of thing, and so on. I just want to speak to that for a minute. I don't believe, and I have never believed in the concept, or in the spiritual realm anyway, of beginner, intermediate, advanced. I've heard that talked, I've heard that spoken about for years. I don't believe it, and I want to say that out loud. I don't believe it because I've seen people who are new to spirituality suddenly rocket forward, take off, pass me by and everything, because it was their time to, and because they could. And it doesn't matter that it was that their opening to it was accelerated. I've seen people who would call themselves advanced have the legs swept from underneath them. I've seen that a few times, actually. I've seen people who are fairly comfortable with spiritual concepts and metaphysical tools and so on. I've seen those types of people study and so on for years and years and years and get no further. Okay, so this beginner, intermediate, advanced thing, it's not how it works. We all blossom, we all open up at our own pace, our own speed, our own way. Okay. A teacher of mine used to say, who was advanced? Jesus. And he'd say, the day I can turn my body into light is the day I will call myself an advanced spiritual practitioner. I just want to offer that to you because you have your own unique way. I do, we all do. And it does not matter the pace that we're going at. It just matters what is true to each of us. Okay? All right, so to questions. For the next few minutes, I will take general readings. I'm not looking at the questions yet. One has come in. My friend whose name starts with V. I'm going to look at your question first, so take a breath with me, everyone. With regard to your daughter, I'm getting a yes that she does. Yes, she does, and I know she doesn't want to have the needles and so on, but please, I would Maybe I'll call you later, Verena, okay, about that one. Now about the people who you might want to be placing a boundary with. That was your other question. I think you know this, but it is time to cut the cord with those people and yourself very clearly, very clearly. It's draining you, it's drawing from you, but I think you know that, all right? All right, so let's see what questions we've got here. Oh, wow, quite a few. All right, Valerie. Oh, I should do this. There we go. All right. So, Valerie, what I'm seeing here for you is, if there are two sides to a coin, but it's the same coin, for you, it's about, let's say, holding your center, and with that, coming in more into terms with your own essence, your own presence. I want to say light, but that gets overused, okay? I'm really talking about your own unique signature. What happens when you get more in touch with that is you get carried to where you get carried to where you need to be, okay? So this all looks like less effort, less output, less burnout, less exertion, all right? In spiritual terms, people are always talking about doing more, aren't they? Like connecting to guidance and getting intuition. And it's like, if people really put their attention into alignment, come to alignment, it kind of all clicks together and we find what the next step to take is. So you're saying Thursday. Well, that's what I'm feeling for you. That's what I'm feeling for you. Don't look too far ahead. Don't look too far ahead. Just look to what is next and next and next. And between now and Thursday, there's obviously 48 hours. That's a good amount of time. So don't, in a whole other breath, I would be talking to you about thinking past the finishing post, but no, actually doing what you can to receive and be carried there. All right. And thank you for being on today, Valerie. Christina, I don't have. I'm being asked to pass on your question here. There's not something I need to add to your question today. Okay. So I'm going to go on. All right, Crystal. Do you see I'll create another business in the next year? Will your income increase? To another business next year. To create another business in the next year. Okay, so to both questions, Crystal, and I think we're talking on Friday, we can get more into this. I don't see another business in the next year. I do see another business, I just don't see it in the next year. In terms of income, I see it increasing to a point, and then actually the next thing for you to do is be, as it were, developing, refining, expanding your tools and your repertoire. Not that it isn't wide already, but we can always, we go up like this, I could do the same thing for another 10 years, but it would be different levels of it, and things I would add into it. And I wouldn't tell anyone, but I would be doing it at a different frequency. So it's not to say that there isn't another business to come. There is. I just don't see it in the next year. And I do see revenue. I do see your income increasing, and then you almost taking a step to the side, not backwards, not forwards, but to the side, which will help you take a strong step forwards. All right. I don't know what your name is, but that's a really cool handle you have there anyway. Purple Moonlight. The next 3 months looks like for your relationship with your boyfriend. Is there anything specific coming in for us? Let's just talk about your relationship first, and then talk about something else. In fact, no, I'm gonna dot somewhere else first of all. Thinking a lot about, was looking at the astrology of this week and noticing, particularly towards the end of this week, how much influence of Venus there is. With Venus, Venus is about love and relationships, of course, also about money. And it occurs to me that one's energy output and so on can be seen in equivalent terms of how we love and how we use money. They're both expressions of us. So what I see for your relationship is it maybe not at this exact moment, but getting into a couple of months' time, or a bit after a month's time, it's looking more grounded, it's looking more stable. But what I want to say is, what I see coming for you, what I see coming to you, because that's the words you use. I'm seeing some bit more money being available to you, and I would not say that if I didn't see it. Okay, so good stuff. And hello, Brandy. Hello, Crystal. Hello, Joy. Okay, Karen. Question: if you give me insight, I haven't seen a twin flame since May, but have communicated telepathically to heal from our breakup. How does he feel about me now that we have been separated for 8 months? At this moment in time, if I were to have any type of relationship with him, would he repeat the same pattern? Okay. So it's a couple of questions. What's your other question? Okay, I'm looking at him in regard to you, Karen, and he's in regard to you. He's sad. He's sad. His heart is hurting. And I think you're picking up on that. With your second question about would he repeat the same pattern, I'm still at a yes. Now, why do I say still? I haven't answered this question before. I think he still would. Yes, that's how I want to phrase that question. He's not the same. Do I want to say person? He's not the identical expression that you remember 8 months ago. But there's enough similarities there that he still would. That will not always be the case. Right now, I see that it is. Okay, Brandy. Are my health issues stress related? How can I work with that if so? I'm getting an interesting reading here, Brandy, because I get a no on stress, but I'm looking at what it is, and there's certainly some stress relating to that. So I think the first thing to do is expand on what stress means. It's too vague a word, and the problem with vagueness is you can't change something when you're looking at it in a vague way, right? So just in terms of the cards that are showing up here, the Hanged Man, first of all, right? Which says to me you need to employ some surrender here. And I know how fiddly what I just said is, but that's what it is. You know that. Also got the Tower here, which says to me that I'm only using these definitions with Brandy, by the way, because she knows the cards. So the Tower here, which says to me there's not a lot that you can do about it because it's happening anyway. And what's getting cleared here, I'm looking at the Seven of Wands, and I'm looking at the Five of Swords as well, which shows me that it's people that have been deceitful, the trauma that picked up from that is what's getting cleared. Now you've had health issues, okay? You've had health issues. You know as well as I do, when some of these trauma are left, when we suppress it for too long, it's going to come out through one of the organs and body systems. So I think that's going on. Also, I think you're just tired of having to defend yourself, to over communicate what you need and so on. Let's just remember, we've got the Hanged Man, we've got the Tower. So this is not going to happen in your timing, and but with the Tower, it is going to happen. It is going to happen. So to your question, is it stress related? No, I don't think it's stress related. I think it's that you're fighting yourself. If we're putting it in soundbite terms, I think it's because you're fighting yourself. All right. Melanie. What should you concentrate on in the next week? You're feeling confused. Okay. Right. Two things to say to you is I don't think you're going to be feeling confused for very long. I think you've maybe got a couple more days of it. So let me just get some words out here. From what I'm looking at here, I think you should be doing what you want to do. I would say I was making some music over there on Saturday evening, and I just really clicked into it and just wanted to stay in it for hours. It was a really weird thing. I haven't had that for ages. And part of me was fighting that because I'm like, oh, there's so much to do and kids and all of that. But even me and even the stuff I'm used to, I still forgot that by me being in and connecting to something that made me happy, It was opening up energy in other areas, opening up space in other areas. So don't be thinking about responsibility, onerous, shoulds, and obligations. Okay, think about, oh, what do I want to be working? What do I want to have my hands on? What makes me smile, and so on. Go there first, and the confusion is not going to last long. And it's going to be one of those things, Melanie, where you suddenly turn around and you're like, God, I'm not confused. I'm not confused. Where did it go? Okay. Kayla, any guidance for me on how to deal with the relationship of my dad and his new wife and the effect it's having on my family? Okay. Kayla, I'm going to say what you probably don't want to hear. And I don't mean to be tactless in any way or whatever. I'm seeing the hurt there. I'm seeing the hurt there. Feeling it in your question, but I'm seeing it. And someone once said, the only way is through. And you're going to have to sit with this. Not sit with it here. Please understand what I'm saying. Not sit with it here. Sit with it here so that it moves. So that it moves. When one of us is unhappy and hasn't moved it, that's when it radiates, multiplies out to our family. You know, and your concern, if you're being authentic here, is about your family, and so you've got to move it in you. I understand you don't have to do about your father and all of that. It's not in your hands to do, but this is in your hands to do something about. Before I sit down and do this every Tuesday, I process for every single person that asks a question. Every single person that asks a question, okay? Every single person, even the people that dot on here and then flit off, every single person. And so because I can't afford to have that energy of question, of conflict in me as I'm doing this. And so I'm saying that writing is what I do. That's how I clear myself. And I'm asking you to find what works for you. If it's writing, if it's exercise, if it's getting a punch bag, if it's singing, if it's laughing, if it's dancing, if it's painting, if any of these things that help you move that, but do something. It's not going to just go away, and you're not going to be up, and I don't recommend you sit on it either. So forgive me being blunt there. It's because I care, okay? All right. Do I see success for your candle business, Soul Origins? Okay. Oh. Okay, I'm really glad you asked this, because I do, and then I see you losing interest. So, you see, let me just say this to all of you listening right now. There is some grace in having a reading, because what one sees is a trajectory, not a certainty, but a probability, a trajectory. Which means if we've got a trajectory that we don't super like, then hey, well, we know something now and we could shift it if we like. And so with something like this, for you, as totally distinct as I was saying to the first person who I read for today, I would love for you to be thinking far ahead, okay? Far ahead. To let's say you're talking about candles here. That you've got some good distributors, you've got your systems down well. Right, great. What do you add onto that? Okay, how long will that take? What do you add onto that? What are your platforms and so on? What are your peak periods of the year? Love for your thinking to be a lot broader than it is, and then it won't be hard to find momentum when you're flagging. All right. Also, if you can diversify just a bit, then your interest will you can sustain your interest. Okay, because I'm seeing you losing interest, and while at the same time I see good stuff there. I see really good stuff. I see what you're doing is interesting. It's powerful, and not something I would walk away from. So I hope that supports. I hope that is everything I've just said is meant to be constructive. I hope you receive it such. Okay, Selena. So ask about what I see about the man in your life. What do you see in the future for us? Okay. Okay, I like this guy. I really do like this guy, and I don't really need to hear this, Selena, but I really feel this is a connection. This is a union, certainly honored, supported, and so on by spirit, by God, and everything, all of that. I do see a future here for you. The thing I'm getting shown to voice is that something that you can be and do for him is support him to feel safe to express. Because I see some things. It's not about anything that's happening that he would keep secret or keep to himself. It's about elements of himself. And we men, we do that because we don't want to seem or appear weak. That's the worst thing for us men. We don't want to feel or seem weak. And actually the very opposite is true. You know, as we acknowledge our weakness, we get stronger in every way. And that will feed back to you. So if you can support him to feel safe, and I'm sure people listening will disagree with me and say, no, it's codependency, but if you can support him to feel safe, to voice and release and let go of these aspects of him, we would say that's healing. That will return to you in a beautiful way. So wonderful, Selena. Okay, Amber. You're nervous about your transition to your new department at work. Will you be okay with it? Will the hours be okay for you? Okay. one more thing. Okay, Amber, the hours I do see as being okay for you. There's some stuff. There is some stuff there to deal with, and I think you're tuned into it. So I'm going to ask something of you here, which I don't expect you to listen to me on, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to ask you to be bigger than it, greater than what you're worrying about. All right. Let's just remember we do get supported in each moment. We only are drawn and we only are magnetized to where we need to be. Can I ask you to see your work as your ministry? All right. Which means that the people you're with each day, and not just them, but the clients as well, because there's that circle outside as well. They are who God wants to reach through you. Okay, because I see you kind of constricting around it. All right. And I'd love for your perspective to be different, that you're going to turn up there and you're going to bless these people, you're going to bless the place, you're going to give and bring your best. And that is how you rise above. That's how you rise above. It's not a mental thing. It's love. It's love. I want you to go there and love these people and love what you do. And that way you're not gonna sink under what you're worried about sinking under. And I'll just say again, the hours do look fine, right? Okay. Nikki, I'm just gonna pull one card for you. Sort of bending a rule here, but I just feel I am for you to do that for you, Nikki. So Nikki, at the risk of giving you a very vanilla response here, I'd love for you to be having a bit more fun and let go and trust in. Let me put this to the next week and a half. The next 7, 8, 9, no, 9, 10 days. 9, 10 days to wake up in the morning. You say yes. You say, I'm trusting, and you watch that unfold over the next 9, 10 days, all right? And employ fun, employ joy. So hear what I'm saying. We're putting some parameters on this, and you're going to observe it, all right? So I'm not just going to blandly say, oh, enjoy, have fun, trust. No, there's a particular period of time that you're going to watch it happen. You're going to scientifically, empirically see what happens when you choose that, okay? So Lisa, what I think you're saying is you're going to Glastonbury, and will you meet? Okay, I'm going to answer the question that you're asking here. I'm getting a yes on that. Sounds very exciting. Been to Glastonbury a few times. Okay, Ginny. When will you be making a trip to Idaho? Okay, that's good. Sorry, first of all, I'm seeing it this year. But I've got to say, it looks in the best way quite open for you to do this. My favorite months, for what it's worth, are October and November, and I would be leaning to November for you, November of this year. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Renata, just need to reshuffle, going through the deck. So what I'm doing is, Patrice, I see you've got a question next. I don't know if I've gotten around to telling you, I'm going to be in Cleveland in like a week's time. I'm going to be at Branches of Wellness on the 10th and the 14th. Oh, and Renaissance Unity. Really excited about it. Yeah. Okay, so Renata. Yes, it would be great. It would be great. Okay. All right. Will your shoulder recover, Patrice, after the shoulder replacement? I now have atrophy. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. So I'm getting a yes on recovery, but I also see right now it's not an immediate thing, Patrice. I'm actually what I'm picking up here is in both shoulders, not just one of them. But I do see it recovering in time. I'm getting the feeling, I'm not seeing here, but I'm getting the feeling there's something else you need. I'm wondering even about stem cell. Not my area, but that's what's coming to me as I'm looking at this. But the very short answer is yes. Oh, you've asked again. Yeah. All right. Kate. Do I see you getting any closer to your dream of being an animal communicator? Yes, I do. Kate. Give me a minute here. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing, Kate. That I'm getting told it's already happening. It's already happening. So if I can just add my own 2 cents from that. When I've come across this sort of thing before, and it's already happening, which I'm getting shown, what would help for you to do, Kate, is detach a bit from how you're expecting the communication to come and look at where and how communication is already coming. Look, if you look behind me, over here, I should, here, there we go. If you look behind me and I've got the gong, I've got sound stuff, right? I gravitated towards that because the spiritual circles I was sitting in London, where you expected to sit and get guidance, that wasn't happening for me. I wasn't feeling connected or anything, but towards music and so on I was, and all of this now has come since that. So I would say look at what has already been coming, look at what already has been happening, place a bit more value on that than you have been, okay? Yeah. I feel we'll be talking about that another time. All right. Paul. Hello, Paul. Oh, it's late where you are. No, you're in South America. It's pretty much this time, isn't it? What is the better location to live for the next months? The big city, smaller city, or the coast? Next months. Pretty clearly, it's the coast. The smaller city I see being good for work, as well. But I prefer the coast, and I feel there's a location that you already know about that kind of looks like both of those, but not the big city. Not the big city. I would lean towards the coast first, and then to the smaller city. Okay, Tracy. Found out yesterday my boss is leaving in 2 weeks. Does it look like I may get promoted to his position? Would it be a good move for you? So I do see you getting promoted, and that it will be a good move for a while. I don't know that you're going to love it in the fullness of time, but I do. Should it happen, should that play out, I do think you should. I do think you should take it. I do think you're the right person there. And you know what? So when stuff comes up in the future, we can deal with it then, right? We can deal with it then. But should it happen, do take it. Do take it. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to read all of this. My son's having a difficult time figuring out what he wants to do since he graduated high school. He has had depression. I'm sorry. Since your stroke, do I see him figuring it out? So I'm worried. Do you have any guidance for me or him? explain why I'm hesitating. I've got an answer here. It's just I'm frustrated the answer I'm getting here because it's like a step after what would be helpful. Anyway, do I see him figuring it out anytime soon? I don't see that. All right, I don't. It pisses me off because I want to be able to tell you, yeah, I do, but I don't see that. Not yet. What would help him is getting grounded and some surrender. Okay, because I see the fight there. I see the resistance there. And I see the frustration as well, and it sort of compounds on itself. But I can't talk to him right now. I can only talk to you, and you're not him. So what you can do for him, Chantel, is you can pray for him. Okay, and you can pray for the him in you. That's what you can do. And you can, in your heart and in your mind, in that order, see him thriving. It's the grounding thing that would really help him. That's the answer to your question, isn't it? I would just love to be able to say that to him. I'd love to be able to communicate that to him about getting grounded, because I think that's the key. It's the key. Like, so much going on in his head, but he doesn't know how to actualize it. Gets frustrated, doesn't do anything about it. If he could just be more in his body, I feel it would go, and stay there, I feel it would go better. Yeah. But another question about a son. What's going to happen with your son? All right. A second. So I just wanted to light some sage. There we go. Okay. Better. You know, I see things aren't easy for him, but I see him pulling through. You know, maybe there's different lessons with your son as opposed to Chantal's son that I was just talking about. With your son, Berta, I feel it's part of his maturation right now. You know, there's an element of groundedness that would help here too, but there is in all of us and in anything. So I'm not going to beat that drum too much. But what your son is learning, Berta, is he's learning how to handle money, learning how to handle his emotions. I see that as a longer lesson. But I just need to say this. I see him pulling through. I see him getting done and making happen what he needs to make happen. Given his, I just have to say this. Given his, and forgive me if this sounds condescending. It's really not meant to. I'm just looking at what I'm reading. Given his level of awareness and given his level of maturity. Carrie, thank you for your question. I'm not doing general readings at this point of the session now. Clarissa, do I see you and your family moving soon? You know, when the word soon pops up in a reading, it's always like, my soon and your soon, not necessarily the same thing. I'm going to say no. I see moving. And I see that change, but I don't see it. I don't see it soon. Like, I feel like you're thinking next few months. I'm not seeing it then. There's something still to clear. When we're changing something, like a location, in your case, some people a job, some people a relationship, some people a career, we've got to do enough clearing first so that we don't recreate what we're leaving from, so that we go to, we don't leave from. And it looks to me like you're not complete with the clearing process yet. And that's not an indictment on you. It's just more to do. There's plenty of things I'm impatient about myself, and the clearing's not done yet, right? Concerned, but would like to know if your children are on the right path for them at this time in their lives. So that's a beautiful question, Karen. I'm going to say yes. And I'm saying yes because I'm seeing a blend, and I don't know how many people I'm reading for here as well when you ask the question, but I'm seeing a lovely blend of them standing up for themselves and letting the flow take them too. And we're asking a broad question. Like we are here, which is, are they on the right path? And all of them. This is what I would want to see. Also, this is my card for Archangel Michael, and it is in the root of the reading. It's exactly what I want to see. So I'm seeing people who are supported, guided, right? I'm seeing them standing up for themselves. I'm also seeing them going with flow. Yeah. So yes. Lily, do I see you meeting someone soon? Right. There's the word soon again, right? So I had a look at this, and the answer I was getting was no. But I wanted to look at timing, and I do feel like you're going to meet someone before the end of the year. That's why I always want to check in on what soon means. So just putting that together, Lily, if it were me, and I just read for myself and gotten that, I would put relationship out of my mind for the time being. There's a card that's a 3 of Pentacles that was showing up here, which says to me there's something a little more important on your path right now. Let's remember divine orchestration. All of this, you'll meet someone, of course, when you're supposed to meet someone, which means the things that have got to happen first have to happen first, which means they'd be interruptive if they happened while you were meeting someone. And grace is not going to do that to you. Grace is going to give you what you can handle when you can handle it. So I do see you meeting someone before the end of the year, and yeah, okay. I am out of time, everyone. Don't jump off just yet if I say that, because I would just like us all to take a breath. I am going to do, not tonight, I'm tired. I am going to be holding a few more healing circles of some sort on this page and on my Patreon page. Oh, I should put that up, shouldn't I? Yeah, there you go. So this is my it's my membership page here, but here on Facebook or YouTube, where we all are right now, I'm going to be doing a bit more healing circles, getting us together for that, for the sake of consolidating spiritual energy to make the physical things happen where they need to happen, to support doing this, to support that to happen, because it is the physical things, reconstruction, transportation, money. That's what's needed. Okay, I'm not pretending otherwise. But what happens when we get together and we do focused spiritual work is we clear blocks, we clear interruptions, we clear impedances, and that supports to happen on this plane what needs to happen on the physical plane. That's why. I just want to say that. So take a breath with me if you would, and I want to just say a brief prayer for you, for your family, everything that's important to you. I do these to support mental energy to move. Mental energy that doesn't move creates problems, and it stacks up. And that's why I do this. It's not about readings, it's not about information, it's just knowing there are some people out there now who are a little clearer in their minds, a little less encumbered by stuff, and that reverberates out, right? That's why I do this. Yeah. All right. So I wish you all a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for taking the last hour or so with me. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your questions, but I do have to honor boundaries. So I wish you a wonderful evening. God bless, and see you soon, and have a wonderful week.